At a demonstration in Washington, I met James Yee, who had been the Muslim chaplain at Guantanamo Bay. He thinks the US government betrayed him.
Why did the government want me being a chaplain in Guantanamo? Perhaps to say that we have Muslim prisoners, but we also have our Muslim chaplain, and maybe that would be an indication to the world that we were being very sensitive to the religious needs of these Muslim prisoners. We were treating them humanely. But I would learn that religion was actually being used as a weapon against these prisoners to break them. And because each and every one of them was a Muslim, that was something that went against the fundamental American value of religious freedom. When we heard about the Qurans being desecrated down in Guantanamo, that was happening when I was there. They were thrown on the ground, stamped on, kicked across the room. The investigations into abuses of the Qurans that have now been conducted by the U.S. Southern Command indicated that Qurans were even urinated on.
What happened to you at Guantanamo Bay for you to become an enemy of the state?
Initially, I was being accused of espionage, spying, and aiding the enemy. Now, these are capital crimes in which military prosecutors even threatened me with the death penalty. Why did this happen? I believe it happened because I raised concerns about abuses down in Guantanamo. I later learned that one of the first things that was said of me was, quote, "Who the hell does this Chinese Taliban think he is, telling us how to treat our prisoners?" Someone called me a Chinese Taliban.
You fought the case, didn't you?
Fought it tooth and nail.
And what happened as a result, in your case?
All charges were dropped. I was reinstated.
You didn't have anything to put on you at all.
I was reinstated as a Muslim chaplain. My record was wiped clean. And it was at that point that I then resigned from the military and received an honorable discharge.
Are you still patriotic?
I would say that I'm even more patriotic today. And that's because I am spending more time and engaged even further in doing what's best for my country, promoting these certain values. That's my goal in life, is to improve the society that I live in.
That night, I got a call about some startling developments in the Abu Ghraib torture case. Former inmates from Abu Ghraib prison in Iraq have hired an American lawyer to put Americans accused of torture on trial in America.
It says that 4 lawsuits were filed in federal courts, Maryland, Ohio, Michigan, and Washington. And basically, if the federal judges agree to hear these cases, it will make history. And the former detainees at Abu Ghraib will come to America and have their day in court.
I've got an interview with the lawyer who filed these lawsuits and is himself a Muslim. I want to find out if he, like James Yee, can still be patriotic when his government is doing terrible things to his fellow Muslims abroad. The lawyer in question is Sharif Akil.
What makes you think, Sharif, that you can bring justice in these cases here in America? What is it about this country that made you think that was possible?
The Constitution is designed to be indiscriminate as to who you are. As long as you're a human being, or if you are a human being, you deserve certain dignities and you're vested with certain rights. And America has that vision. It's not just America's vision doesn't stop at American soil.
Just talk me through some of them. What did you feel when you looked at
I saw literally an assault on a culture and on a religion. For example, this one picture here where there's feces on a person. I know it's a cultural taboo. This is beyond just being sadistic. There's an underlying meaning in there, extra profound to a person of Arabic origin.
They were tortured specifically in ways to insult them as Arabs?
Absolutely.
So it's systematic?
And this person here, you know, she's from a southern state. This guy was a security guard. They couldn't have just come up with this.
No. So what do you hope will emerge from these cases for America and for Muslims in America?
To restore her image. Americans are deeply disturbed by what happened. But unlike in Saddam Hussein, where if you get tortured, no one cares, that in America, there's a system of democracy where people are held accountable for their actions.
What inspires you in this quest, to seek justice? Is it being American that drives you on, or being a Muslim?
Both. I identify myself as an American Muslim, and I believe that the principles that are in my faith are entirely consistent with what the founding fathers envisioned with this country.
Throughout this trip, I've heard many Muslims assert their belief in the American Constitution as a blueprint for a just society entirely consistent with Islamic principles. Talking to Sharif Akil confirmed for me how true this is, that there's no contradiction between your obligations as a Muslim and your rights as an American citizen. I've heard the accusation that Muslims exploit these democratic freedoms for their own advantage. But I'm in Arkansas, in America's Bible Belt, to follow a story which contradicts this claim. Here, Muslims are taking the initiative to heal ancient grievances. I'm in Fayetteville, Arkansas, population 60,000, and it's exactly how I imagine small-town America to be. But what's drawn me here is the story of how this town's tiny Jewish community had a problem which a Palestinian Muslim is helping them to solve. This is the site of a building no one thought would be built. But two small communities of Jews and Muslims drew their resources together to build a synagogue in the Bible Belt. Father, Raggy, how are you? Very nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. This is a fun... I'd come and pray here. In this setting, it's gorgeous.
That's true.
But when I first heard about this project, I have to say, you know, Palestinian guy building a synagogue in Fayetteville, I thought, what is the story? I mean, did you think it was a weird thing? Were you suspicious at first?
I wasn't suspicious. I just thought, we all thought it was just really wonderful. And I think part of it is that we're in a relatively small community.
What sparked in you, Father, to think, I've got to help the Jewish community here?
It really sparked in me the ancestry of our relationship, being descendants of the same forefather, Abraham. And I thought, in this day and age, we really need to reach out to our Jewish brothers in this community and build some bridges.
You two look like you could be cousins.
Except he's lighter than me. He got blue eyes.
He's handsomer.
I think I got it. I mean, but how do you think this project will change how the communities come together and, you know, respect each other's cultures and religions?
This year we've had several different programs that have for us to understand Islam, and so it's been very exciting for us to be able to embrace someone that has the stereotype of being an adversary, and yet.
And this country taught us that. You know, we have so much diversity here in the United States. It's a unique country. Our Constitution guarantees us freedoms and freedom of religion, especially, and we taught to respect each other.
In the 30 years that Fadl has been in America, he's gone from being an impoverished engineering student to a multimillionaire. He really is well connected throughout Arkansas. He's even got a school named after him. And Fadl's helped me realize a lifetime's ambition. He's given me complimentary tickets to the Rodeo of the Ozarks, the 5th biggest rodeo show in all of America. Amazingly, Fadl even has a say in what happens here. What do you make of the fact that a Palestinian-born American is on the organizing committee of this event? I don't know what could possibly prove to you or me that there is nowhere in America or American culture that Islam can't be assimilated into. And yeehaw to that.
Do you really understand religious freedom? You get to go to church, you get to go to the mosque or the synagogue in this country. In Afghanistan, they didn't have that choice. But as Americans, it is our free right. Let's see what else in spring. It doesn't get any better than that. Now let's turn to B.J. Scott. His third pass is coming by the bucket show. Sweet! Come on, that's the Arkansas! This is a tale.
I was enjoying the show, but I couldn't help wondering whether it was all as rosy as Fadl had described. Hadn't he ever witnessed discrimination against Muslims in Arkansas?
Yes, every once in a while, the Americans look differently at, say, a woman that is wearing a hijab. But eventually this will fade away. They'll get used to it. And don't underestimate the American intellect. They do realize that good quality that comes out of our faith. And if you look at the communities that have Muslims in it, you'll find it very peaceful. There are no drugs, there is no crime, and as smart as they are here, they do realize that. And if you follow what Islam says, you're going to get somewhere.